Hello, my beloved students. This is Ms. Riwan Hussein from the Science Staff, Middle Department EGC. Hope you are doing well.
For today, we are going to continue Lesson 2 in Unit 1 for Middle 1 students. This lesson is under the title of Matter Construction. Finally, let's talk about the kinds of molecules. Let me ask this man to write any sentence on the blackboard. Good. Circle all of the words in this sentence. Take the word or and circle all the letters of it with other color. Very good. You can see that this sentence is made up of words, but words are made up of letters, so letters are the smallest unit of a sentence. Similarly, matter are made up of molecules, but molecules are made up of atoms. So, molecules are composed of tiny units called atoms, which means that atoms combine to form molecules that make different matter around us. For example, when two hydrogen atoms combine with one oxygen atom, water molecule is formed, and many molecules form water, which is matter. Let's have a look at these items. What difference do you see in these four items? Group A and B contain only one type of item each, that is mangoes and milk. On the other hand, Group C has two items in it. The milkshake in Group D is made up of both mangoes and milk. Similarly, many things around us contain only one type of atoms, while others are made up of two or more different atoms. So, substances that are made up of only one type of atom are called elements. On the other hand, substances that are made up of two or more different atoms combined chemically with a fixed ratio are called compounds. So, there are two types of molecules, which are element and compound. Let's learn more about these today. Let me start first with element. As we said before, that the element molecule is composed of only one kind of atoms, or we can say similar atoms. So, we can define element as the simplest pure form of a substance. If you kept hitting a piece of gold with a hammer, the pieces would get smaller, but each piece will always be gold, not anything other. So, we can say that the element cannot be decomposed or analyzed into a simpler form. So, element is the simplest pure form of a substance that cannot be decomposed or analyzed into a simpler form. Molecules of element are formed of either one atom or two atoms. When the element molecule is formed of one atom, in Latin language, one means mono, so we call it as monoatomic element. Let's use some colored beads to understand how monoatomic elements look like. You know that the monoatomic element molecule is formed of one atom only. So here we go. One atom forms a monoatomic element molecule. Examples of monoatomic element molecules, as we said before, that there are 3 states of matter. So we have liquid monoatomic element as mercury, gas monoatomic element as group of inactive gases known as inert gases or noble gases, which include helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and radon. Let's understand this with an animation. Argon is a gas found in nature containing argon atoms only. Many argon atoms come together to form an argon element. When the element molecule is formed of 2 atoms, in Latin language 2 means di, so we call it as diatomic element. Let's use some colored beads to understand how diatomic elements look like. You know that diatomic element molecule is formed of 2 atoms. So here we go. 1 and 2 atoms put together to form a diatomic element molecule. Examples of diatomic element molecules, as we said before, that there are 3 states of matter. So we have liquid diatomic element as bromine, gas diatomic elements as group of active gases, which include hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, chlorine, and fluorine. Let's understand this with an animation. Oxygen gas present around us contains 2 atoms of oxygen combined to form oxygen molecule. Now, let's move to the compound. As we said before, that the compound molecule is composed of different atoms. For example, the water we drink is a compound containing 1 oxygen atom and 2 hydrogen atoms. So, we can define compound as the product of combination of 2 or more different elements. We've seen that when 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom combine chemically, water is formed. In other words, whenever hydrogen and oxygen combine in a 2-to-1 ratio, the product will be always water. The change in this ratio between hydrogen and oxygen atoms will result in a completely different compound. So, we can say that the compound is formed with constant weight ratio. So, compound is the product of combination of 2 or more different elements with constant weight ratio. Let's study some examples of compounds. Example 1 is hydrogen chloride molecule. It is a product of combination of 1 hydrogen atom represented by letter H and 1 chlorine atom represented by letter Cl. So, we can say that hydrogen chloride molecule is formed of 2 elements, hydrogen and chlorine, and it has 2 atoms in each molecule, 1 hydrogen atom and 1 chlorine atom. Let's take another example. Water molecule. It is a product of combination of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. So we can say that water molecule is formed of 2 elements, hydrogen and oxygen, and it has 3 atoms in each molecule. 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. Moving to the third example, ammonia molecule. It is a product of combination of 3 hydrogen atoms and 1 nitrogen atom. So we can say that ammonia molecule is formed of 2 elements, hydrogen and nitrogen, and it has 4 atoms in each molecule, 3 hydrogen atoms and 1 nitrogen atom. And here comes the end of this lesson. So let's recap the highlights of the lesson. We've learned the matter construction in 3 main points, which are the construction of matter, the properties of molecules, and finally the kinds of molecules. We've started by the construction of matter. We've said that matter in any state, solid, liquid, or gas, is formed of small units known as molecules. We've defined molecules as the smallest particle of matter that can exist freely and keeps the properties of matter. Then we've explored the 3 properties of molecules, which are molecules of matter are in continuous motion. There are intermolecular spaces between the molecules of matter. There are intermolecular forces between the molecules of matter. And we've said that there are 3 states of matter, which are solid, liquid, and gas. So, as you can see in the pictures, molecules of matter, either solid, liquid, or gas, are in continuous motion, where the motion of solid molecules is limited or vibratory motion. Motion of liquid molecules is free. Motion of gaseous molecules is completely free. Moving to the second property of molecules, as you can see in the pictures, there are intermolecular spaces between the molecules of matter, either solid, liquid, or gas, where the intermolecular spaces between the solid molecules are tiny. The intermolecular spaces between the liquid molecules are large. The intermolecular spaces between the gaseous molecules are very large. And we've defined the intermolecular spaces as the spaces found between the molecules of matter. Moving to the third property of molecules, as you can see in the pictures, there are intermolecular forces between the molecules of matter, either solid, liquid, or gas, where the intermolecular forces between the solid molecules are very strong. The intermolecular forces between the liquid molecules are weak. The intermolecular forces between the gaseous molecules are very weak. And we've defined the intermolecular forces as the forces that bind the matter molecules together. And we've concluded that solid matter has definite volume and definite shape. And this is because the motion of solid molecules is limited. The intermolecular spaces between the solid molecules are tiny. The intermolecular forces between the solid molecules are very strong. So, solid matter keeps its volume and shape whatever the shape of the container changes. Coming to liquid matter, it has definite volume and indefinite shape. And this is because the motion of liquid molecules is free. The intermolecular spaces between the liquid molecules are large. The intermolecular forces between the liquid molecules are weak. So, liquid matter takes the shape of the container. Moving to the gas matter, it has indefinite volume and indefinite shape. And this is because the motion of gaseous molecules is completely free. The intermolecular spaces between the gaseous molecules are very large. The intermolecular forces between the gaseous molecules are very weak. So gaseous matter has indefinite volume and indefinite shape. Then we move to the way by which we can change the state of matter from solid to liquid and from liquid to gas. And we've said that melting process is the change of matter from solid state to liquid state by heating, while the vaporization process is the change of matter from the liquid state to the gaseous state by heating. Finally, we've ended our lesson by the kinds of molecules, and we've said that molecules are formed of smaller units called atoms, and according to this, there are two kinds of molecules, which are elements and compounds. Starting with the elements, we've said that the element molecule consists of one kind of atoms or similar atoms. We've defined element as the simplest pure form of a substance that cannot be decomposed or analyzed chemically into a simpler form. We've also said that element molecules are either monoatomic elements or diatomic elements. Examples of monoatomic liquid element is mercury. Monoatomic gas elements are inert gases or noble gases, which include helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and radon. While examples of diatomic liquid element is bromine. Diatomic gas elements are active gases which include hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, and chlorine. Moving to the compound, we've said that the compound molecule is composed of different atoms, and we've defined compound as the product of combination of two or more different elements with constant weight ratio. Examples of compounds: hydrogen chloride molecule is a product of combination of two atoms of two different elements. Water molecule is a product of combination of three atoms of two different elements. Ammonia molecule is a product of combination of four atoms of two different elements. And here comes your turn to evaluate yourself. You can make this more interactive than just watching the video by clicking on the following link on the post or by scanning this QR code, and you'll find a variety of questions on this lesson. So please do post your answers to the question, or if you have any doubts, in the comments, and I promise to reply to all your comments promptly. Thank you, my beloved students. Hope this lesson is crystal clear to you now. See you soon in other lessons. Wishing you best of luck. Keep yourself safe. This was Miss Riwan Hussein from the Science Staff Middle Department EGC. Goodbye.